Hey guys, so I've been working on this sort of fan-made patch thing going on since it's been so long since we've actually had a patch for Destiny. I thought I would come up with I would think about a lot of the things that I really would like to see in the next patch, and I write it down and I make sort of like a this week of Bungie major patch sort of feel to it. So I wrote it all down, and it's about 4 pages long. I have it up on my computer. It's no, it's actually 7 pages. I lied. It's 7 pages long of stuff, and the Bungie forums are too small to let me post all of this. So I decided to just put in some background footage and read it off to you, and I will probably end up putting the entire like text thing on Reddit at some point, but I know the Bungie forums won't allow me to put this in within its entirety. So, starting from the top, I'm just going to read what I have. Imagine this as being like what the actual patch is. Like you're on patch day and you are reading the patch notes. That's what this is supposed to be like. So I have a little disclaimer at the top. It says this is a fan-made version of the next big patch, presumably when SRL drops for Rise of Iron in December. Nothing said in this is final or actually going to happen, probably, and seeks to rebalance the game out as much as possible. Please don't flame me for making predictions. Thanks. The first section is classes. Bug fixes. Fixed an issue where ballet dancers lunge for their swipes were not registering as hits and instead missing completely. Fixed an issue where all melee attacks do not register damage when attacking someone above you. Fixed an issue where shooting a tether at a sparrow and then destroying it caused the tether to become infinite. Fixed an issue where sun charge hit registration and lunge distance did not register with targets being hit, an issue similar to Arcblade's lunge. Fixed an issue where Stormtrance's landfall perk was still destroying Defender Ward of Dawn. Fixed an issue where Hammer of Souls hammers were directly hitting enemy players but were not dealing full damage. See specific class section for more details. Fixed an issue where Night Stalker during Shade Step can occasionally shoot at opponents while still in the middle of Shade Step, and fix an issue where Shadow Shot's Anchor of Light was phasing through walls and corners, allowing multiple units to be strung by the tether despite not being in the range. And so this next part is the part where we're actually changing things about classes. So first we start off with Warlocks and Stormcaller. Reduce the range of melee range when combined with the perk Amplitude by X, and X is whatever number they see fit. Reduced the duration of the Stormtrance Super when combined with the perk Transcendence by 4 seconds. Replace the Stormcaller's Pulse Grenade with Lightning Grenade. Increase the damage of the Stormcaller's melee ability from 130 to 140. Increase the effectiveness of the perk Pulse Wave by 1.5 times its original value. Increase the effectiveness of the perk Electrostatic Mind by 1.5 times its original value, and increases the radius 2.0 times its original value. Increase the potency of the perk Rising Storm by 1.5 times its original value. Increase the number of units hit by the perk Chain Lightning to 3, was previously 1. Now we move on to Sunsinger. Increase the duration of the perk Fireborn by 2 seconds. Remove the delay when adding an Overshield after activating the Flame Shield perk, but fixed it so you now have to get the killing blow with the melee ability rather than hits. Increase the knockback granted by the perk Solar Wind by 2.0 times its normal value. Increase the effectiveness of the perk Brimstone, increasing the value of the cooldown reduction by 2.0 times its original value, and increasing the damage done by explosion to 100. Returned Viking Funeral to pre-Rise of Iron effectiveness, but reduced the time added by 2 seconds, so basically removed 2 ticks of burn. Increase the effectiveness of the perk Sunburst to proc 50% of the time on each kill for PvP and 40% of the time for PvE. Gain a brief overshoot when stuck in the air by the Angel of Light perk. Now we move on to Voidwalker. Lowered the radius of the Vortex perk by X. Increased the number of projectiles thrown from the perk Shatter from 3 to 4. Increased the effectiveness of the perks Lifesteal and Soul Rip by 0.5 the original value. This affects speed at which you gain your health back for Lifesteal, and you gain 0.5 times more super energy from Soul Rip. Increased the tracking on Angry Magic by 1.5 times its original value. Now we move on to Hunters. The Gunslinger. Increase the damage from the burn on throwing knife back to its original values, making it a one-shot kill with the burn damage if it is a headshot. Increase the effectiveness of the Combustion perk, making it so all explosions do at least 100 damage. Increase the effectiveness of the Circle of Life perk by 2.0 times its original value, giving you a lower golden gun cooldown. The perk Keyhole can now allow Golden Gun to infinitely pass through as many targets as there are to kill. The perk Over the Horizon now adds additional aim assistance to Golden Gun. Now for Ballet Dancer, which I think is something that people will like to hear. Showstopper now begins and ends 1.5 times faster than previous. Razor's Edge now begins and ends 1 times faster than previous. And what I mean by that is the animation starts and ends 1.5 times quicker. So that way you aren't in the animation of using Showstopper or Razor's Edge nearly as long. Vanish no longer has a cast animation while on the ground. Backstab's radius of one-shot killing an opponent has been lowered by X. An Arc Blade now kills every opponent, in super or not in super, in one swipe. No more 2 swipes to kill. Night Stalker. Invisibility from Vanish and Smoke lasts 2 seconds longer. Increased the duration of the perk Snare to last until the next smoke bomb has been thrown. Keen Scout duration has shortened. Increased the duration of the perk Predator and increased its effectiveness by 1.5 times its original value. Now we move on to Striker. Striker Titan, which I think is the most wanted nerf in buff so-and-so. First, reduce the horizontal distance obtained from repeatedly starting and ending your double jump when using the increased control jump option. Reduced Titan scaling effectiveness inherently. Lowered the damage of the Stormfist melee from 160 to 150, but added 10 extra damage to Stormfist when the perk Discharge is selected. Increased potency of the amplified bonus by 0.5 times its original value. Added an additional pulse to the perk Aftershocks. Slightly increased the tracking on Shoulder Charge while also adding 1 second to its duration. However, the animation slide distance is reduced by X. Juggernaut can no longer be activated while in the air and maintained while in the air. Juggernaut also takes 1 second longer to activate, can no longer block golden gun shots, keeps its health of 100, but if damage exceeds 100, all leftover damage is dealt to the owner of the shield. Any form of jumping removes Juggernaut. That's a big nerf. Increase the vertical distance and speed of the jump option catapult by 0.5 times its original value. Defender is up next. Increased control effectiveness was reduced. See Striker Titan changes for more details. That is the Titan skating nerf. Adds an additional 10% hyper armor when using the Armor of Light perk inside a Ward of Dawn. Increases the shield potency of the Blessing of Light perk to 50%. Increase the effectiveness of the Gift of Light perk to grant orbs 50% of the time for PvP and 40% of the time for PvE. Increase the rate at which the Unbreakable perk recharges Force Barrier by 1.5 times its original value. Increase the amount of orbs able to be generated using the Gift of the Void perk from 3 to 5. Increase the potency of the perk Relentless, making the strength go from 40% to 45%, and the duration adds 5 extra seconds. Added an effect to the and on this one it says added effect Ward of Dawn no longer gets destroyed when its owner is killed to the perk Untouchable, in addition to its other effects it already has. Increase the effectiveness of the perk Iron Harvest to 40% activation rate for all modes of play. Illumination duration reduced by 5 seconds. Sunbreaker. Increased control effectiveness reduced. Another Titan skating thing. Replaced fusion nades with solar nades. Replaced thermite nade with swarm nade. Improved sun charge tracking and hit registration to beyond pre-rise of iron levels. Sunspots from the Scorched Earth talent now do more damage and last longer. Forge Master now has a number of Forge Master now increases the number of hammers thrown rather than duration. Hammer of Soul can now one-shot kill every opponent in super or not in super with hammers. Flame Seeker effectiveness increased. Explosive Pyre's explosions now start immediately, making it so that way you don't waste more hammers on enemies that could potentially be killed from Explosive Pyre itself. Radius of Explosive Pyre also increased slightly. Replaced Agility with Armor in the Fleet Fire perk. Increased the potency of the Simmering Flames perk from twice as fast to 3 times as fast. Cauterize now has a 2-second cooldown instead of a 5-second cooldown. And selecting Firekeeper now grants 10 additional seconds to your Hammer of Soul timer on initial activation. Standing in a sunspot grants additional hyper armor instead of an overshield. Grants 5% hyper armor. Now we move on to melees. Warlock base melee range reduced by X. Hunter base melee range increased by X. And Titan base melee range increased by X. This is to make it so everything is in line with each other. Grenades. Arc Bolt Nade damage increased from 90 to 110. Firebolt Nade damage increased from 90 to 110. Skip Grenade base tracking reduced, but damage increased slightly for each individual skip nade. Increase the magnetic properties of Fusion Nade, Magnetic Grenade, and Flux Grenade to better track and stick to targets. Pulse Grenade damage increased to 80 per damage tick instead of 60. Suppressor Grenade suppression Grenade's suppression radius slightly reduced. Lightning Grenade's cone of damage is slightly more narrow. Flashbangs In flashbangs, blinding duration increased by 1 second for PvP and 2 seconds for PvE. Swarm grenade tracking is stronger. I'm sorry. Tripmine grenade is great. Tripmine grenade damage is greater, but cone of damage is smaller. Void wall grenades damage is greater the closer you are to the focal point of the grenade. Weapon balancing. This is where things get interesting. Pulse rifles. Reduced the damage of the highest rate of fire pulse rifles, Grasp of Moloch and Clever Dragon by X. Increased the damage of all high impact, low rate of fire pulse rifles, Spare Change, Messenger, and Lila D to reliably 2-burst kill any guardian of any armor value. Increased the recoil on these pulse rifles to compensate, as well as lowered the base stability of all these pulse rifles. Auto rifles. Increase the damage of the lowest rate of fire high impact auto rifle by X. Increase the damage of the medium rate of fire medium impact auto rifle by X. And damage against minions of the darkness, aka PvE combatants, by all auto rifles increased by 15%. Hand cannons. Reduce the bloom effect of accuracy. Increase ammo inventory once again. Scout rifles. Increase the magazine size of every scout rifle slightly to determine a larger difference between them and hand cannons. Increase the inventory size. Sniper rifles. Lower the ADS speed by 0.5 seconds. Fusion rifles. Reduce the spread at fusion rifles, making it so it spreads out more the farther away from your target you are, rather than closer. Hip fire accuracy on all fusion rifles are improved. Shotguns. Lower the base range on all high impact low rate of fire shotguns by 50%. Raised the base range on all low impact high rate of fire shotguns by 50%. So you see, we swapped it out there for a second. Sidearms. Increased ammo on respawn to be higher, allowing for more use on spawn. Added more armor for your guardians. Well, this is for swords. Added more armor to your guardians when using a sword. General changes. Increase the amount of ammo granted by special ammo boxes for all special weapons, but reduced the amount of ammo that special boxes spawn, making it so that on all maps, special boxes only spawn 2 times a match, but now each box grants 7 bullets as bursts respectively for shotgun, snipers, and fusions, and 40 bullets for a sidearm, which respectively can give an upwards of 3 mags for a sidearm. Exotic weapons. Hawkmoon. Increased base range by 20. Ace of Spades. Increased base range by 20. First Curse. Increased base range by 10. Fabian Strategy. Impact no longer lowers on the rate of fire increase granted by the Frontlines perk. Red Death. Red Death's old impact and rate of fire ratio has been restored. It is now a member of the low rate of fire high impact class of pulse rifle again and can always reliably 2-burst kill any guardian under normal circumstances. Touch of Malice. The Touch of Mercy bonus now requires you to kill 3 enemies in a quicker succession. Kostov 7G0X. Removed from the game. Queenbreaker's Bow. Aim assistance value slightly lower. Lord of Wolves. Increase the radius for the recovery boost to affect teammates by X. Fourth Horseman. Increase rate of fire from 34 to 50. No land beyond. Fixed an issue where no land beyond would lock up when reload canceling and not fire until moments later. Thorn. Increase the base burn damage tick from 1 to 3. Sleeper Simulant. All shots from the Sleeper Stimulant may now bounce on all surfaces and upwards up to 10 different times. Damage is slightly lowered on each bounce up to a cap of 30% damage loss. 10% damage loss for the first 3 bounces. Thunderlord. Base magazine size increased from 49 to 60. Super good advice. Base magazine size increased from 58 to 70. Truth. Replace grenades and horseshoes with the perk Tracking. Pocket Infinity. Pocket Infinity is now been brought up to year 3 light and attack values. Increase the base magazine size from 3 to 5, able to get 8 shots with extended mag. Damage loss on full auto ramp up is lowered slightly. Vex Lithoclast. Vex Lithoclast base damage base magazine size is increased to 35. Return Vex Lithoclast recoil pattern in burst spread to before original hotfix. Increase damage against minions of the darkness by 15%. Vex Lithoclast is now available in your blueprint kiosk if you already own Vex from year 1. And is at year 3 levels of light and attack values. Vex may be earned by completing Vault of Glass on a hard difficulty. Necrochasm. Replaced the Zen Moment perk with the Counterbalance perk. Increase damage to human combatants by X. Necrochasm is now available in your blueprint kiosk if you have it available in your year 1 vendor, and is now at year 3 light and attack values. You may obtain Necrochasm by adding in a Crux of Crota to an Eidolon ally. The Crux of Crota can be gotten from Crota, the son of Oryx, on hard mode difficulty from the Crota Zen raid. Icebreaker. Icebreaker is now available at year 3 light and attack values. Reduce the time required to refund 1 shot into your magazine by 2 seconds, was 8 seconds, is now 6 seconds. Perks. Extended Mag. Extended Mag now completely maxes out your ammo in the magazine stat. In Field Scout, Field Scout now completely maxes out your ammo inventory stat. Private Eye removed from the game. Exotic Armors. Titan. ACD/0 feedback fence. Increase the damage to human combatants from 60 to 90. Eternal Warrior. Gives the armor to Striker subclass that a normal selection of Unstoppable would provide for free. Hunter. The Knucklehead Radar. Radar now remains active when aiming all weapons, not just primaries. Mask of the Third Man now grants Encore. ATS-8 Arachnid increases the base radius of combustion in addition to its other effects. Warlocks. Ophidian Aspects. Removed the fast reload bonus. The Stag. Increase ability regeneration by 25%. The amount is based on intellect, discipline, and strength values. Skull of Dire Ahamkara grants Embrace the Void for free. Astrocyte Verse reduces cooldown on Link by 1 second. Heart of the Praxic Fire grants the perk Gift of the Sun for free in addition to its other talents. Grants Radiant Will and Touch of Flame for free on Starfire Protocol. Alchemist Raiment. Chance to gain 500 Glimmer on primary ammo pickup, and chance to reload your primary weapon automatically when obtaining Glimmer. Orbs fully recharge your nade and melee when super is full. And here's probably like my favorite one. Transversive Steps. Jumping while sprinting increases maximum sprint speed up to 100% faster, and increases recovery up to the maximum value. So that's all I have listed. That's all I could come up with, and this is basically what I want to see. I know a lot of you don't agree, but you don't have to agree. But don't flame me for wanting to see change. I feel like I was pretty fair to all of the classes. To all classes, especially the Juggernaut nerf. I feel like I was especially fair to all classes, and that all classes seemingly got something really good for them.
Allies move as
But
one.
anyways, I hope to see y'all. I hope to see y'all soon. I hope the new patch actually comes out very soon. And I will catch you guys later. Have a good rest of your night.
You neutralized Zone C. Zone A lost. Zone C captured. Victory imminent. Your victory gives the city hope, Guardians.